Jesse Austin with Wisconsin Rapids Community Media, here for another episode of Community Business Matters. I'm here with my co-host, Carla Lenk of the North Central Community Action Program, and we have a very special episode today because Carla is going to be discussing a lot of the work that she does with North Central Community Action Program and some specific programs that are designed for local entrepreneurs. So I'm going to allow Carla to introduce herself and go into a little bit more of what she does in the community and with our local business people.
I'd like to talk a little bit about the North Central Community Action Program. We actually have 3 counties that we work in. The first is Wood, all of Wood County, Marathon County, and Lincoln. So it's completely from south to north, going up towards Lake Superior. And what we do is we have a variety of services that we provide, including a huge program in weatherization. So if someone that is elderly or does not have enough money to fix roofs or their furnace goes out in winter, then they have to call us, and actually they call the police, which I did not know before, and they verify that this is really true. And then in an emergency situation like that, like Christmas Day or something, they'll call an emergency number with North Central Community Action Program. We kick in and we either go up there and replace the equipment, or what we do is call a furnace man business that would then go and fix what was wrong so the people have heat. We also do some emergency housing if needed, and also get them involved with the food pantry so that they can get food. So these are the things that are on an emergency basis, and we've done that for quite some time. The newest program is my program, which is the Jobs and Business Development Program, and that started with a grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture in 2011. And then I was hired in 2012 to do something with that program because nothing had been done since they got the grant. And my background is in that area, so I was able to help create 5 businesses and fund them through the North Central Community Action Program. Now, the NCCAP has a very small, finite amount of money to work with, so we really have to be very cautious about what we do. But it's such a diverse job because I'm always working with someone who has a different idea that I hadn't heard about before. And sometimes they come forward and they say, I really want to do this, and there's that passion that, yes, they're going to start this business. And sometimes they look at me and say, I have to write a business plan? What is that? And I'll try and help them, but I can't dig into their brains in order to figure out what actually they're thinking about.
Indeed, and if it might be helpful to tell our audience how important a business plan is to somebody who wants to go into business.
There are 2 ways that a business plan works. One of them is an informal way to write it. I don't care if you write it on napkins or tablecloths or whatever, and that's used for you. I mean, you don't need money. If you want to do a formal business plan, that's the one you run to the bank or to another funding agency. And there are many different kinds of funding agencies in Wood County, and which will lead me later on to talk about another one. But we do fund up to $15,000 in the past, and it usually takes 3 months. 1 month to get the person to acknowledge that they really do have to do something because they think I'm going to do it. And I don't know it enough. Every business is different.
So why is a business plan important? If I have an idea for a business, why can't I just set up shop today and?
Well, you can if you have the money. Then you do an informal business because a business plan because of the fact that you have a direction that you want to go in, and you don't want to go off into tangents. So if you're focused enough to do an informal business plan, that's fine. I can help you with that. I can give you the why, where, and what you're supposed to do. And it's very easy. It's nothing like people think. We usually ask, and this is state policy, that everybody that comes that wants to go through this process has to do a feasibility study. And a feasibility study is basically research of what you're trying to do. The feasibility study asks lots of questions. It's 16 pages, double-sided, of all these questions. You know, who's your market? Oh, what are the demographics in that market? How are you going to get the message out to the market? And those are things that they don't think about. You know, it's sort of like Kevin Costner's film, If I Build It, They'll Come. Right. If they don't know about it, they won't come. Word of mouth. My business is going to be using word of mouth. Word of mouth is the slowest way to get the marketing out. I mean, yes, maybe you can't do a 30-second ad on TV every day, but you might be able to do every time you have the shopper or the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune to have a little two-line, three-line ad. Statistics have shown that it's easier to put in something constantly so people know that it's there. Sometimes your eye will go right over it, and sometimes I need that. Copy it down. Because the next day, if you have a whole full-size ad, you know what's going to happen. It's garbage the next day. As they used to say when I went to school, you're wrapping the fish up in it, throwing it out. So what you want to do is consistency, small, not too expensive, and keep it up and keep it up. And that's how you build your business.
Okay.
It's who you are, what you need to, what you're doing, what you're offering as a service or a product, and then how to connect with you.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be much.
Well, in our previous 2 episodes, we had a couple of examples of people that you have helped through NCCAP, and so and as you pointed out, there's some diversity and variety in the sorts of things that you're seeing coming through your door. And so, just wanted to get into some more detail about some of the initiatives that are particularly exciting right now.
Well, the one that I'd like to explain a little bit is about ready to take off. And it's been a long time if you count the months that I was involved with it. Started off like many things do in life, as a friend called me up and said, hey, did you know that there is a request for a proposal, or as they call it, RFP, sitting out there on a national level with an SBIR, Small Business Innovation Research Grant.
Okay.
And I said, yeah, so what? You know, I'm buried in other things here. What did you get it? What are you doing? He said, yeah, I'm going to apply for it. And it will give an ability to do crowdfunding in a community. And he happens to work in Dixon, Illinois, which is south, very far south. And he is the Small Business Development Center director down there. And we worked together at one time. So I said, well, send it to me and let me look at it. And I called him a couple different times asking him about this and about that. And he says, you really should go for this. You really should do this. This is not going to be that bad. I said, for you, it wouldn't be bad. For me, it might be, you know, technologically hard because it's putting on all kinds of technology into this program. He says, well, you put your team together, and then you look at it, you discuss it with your team and see if they're really passionate about it, and then we'll go see if you need any help, I can help. So I called the office that was having this RFP out there, and I said, well, can you send me some stuff? And they did. And what I found out was that it is open to all of Wood County. It was my decision to do Wood County. I wasn't going to do Marathon. I wasn't going to do Lincoln. I was just going to do Wood County. What the wish list for the U.S. Department of Agriculture was, they saw some trends that people were using a certain type of technology like GoFundMe for business, Kickstarter, and there's about half a dozen of those. And they wanted to see why the rural areas of the U.S. were not using it. So I thought, well, okay, that sounds logical. I can probably, all of Wood County is rural. Although there was some question from someone saying, well, we're a city, we're not rural. Any city that's under 50,000 in population in the area is rural. So Wood County fit in very well, and it was easy because I work in Wood County all the time anyway. I'm up in Marshfield, I'm all over, wherever there's a need. And once we got that going, I picked a team, and it's a wonderful team.
Yeah, if you don't mind, could you mention the members of the
Oh,
team?
sure. The first one that I got was Zach Bruink. He's technologically oriented.
Absolutely.
I thought, good, he knows about computers and I don't, so, we'll get him going. Another gentleman that joined us was Jason Schenzel, who is a supervisor for the IT at Midstate. And he's great. Because one of my things in my background was working with students to help them understand some of the business aspects of it. And he caught on to that right away. So we're going to try and bring in 1 or 2 students this semester still.
Excellent.
And having them work with the candidates that we're selecting to be part of this. So the next person that we had is Ed Wagner, who's on the City Council in Marshfield, as well as the County Board. We have Mary Jo Carson, the ex-mayor. We have Jan Harms, who is with Encourage. Karen Olson, who is with the Marshfield Chamber of Commerce, and she also is in marketing. So we have some of these marketing, technology, economic development people all working in one thrust in order to get some things going here.
So you wrote this. So you crafted this.
Well, I answered the request for proposal in August. August 1st, I was sent it in, and we got it in September of 2016. And then we had to go for training. We did training over the internet. So we had to sit there, and some of it was very elementary. What are you going to do? Who is doing it? Why are you doing it? That's part of a business plan, So it was very, very basic in what we were supposed to ask our clients. And then we had to put this platform together. Now, the grant actually does not give us any money. I wish, but they don't. We get services. They put together the platform. And the platform is in Laramie, Wyoming, because that's where they're sitting. And that will allow us then to broadcast, like you do, into Wood County.
Okay.
And what it is that someone comes in and says, gee, I need some equipment. I'm an existing business. I don't make enough money for profit to put enough aside to be able to buy this equipment. I need $10,000. Okay, $10,000. Let's put it on. Let's make a whole program about that. We have the platform is being constructed now into March. April 1st, we will be live. This company will have 30 days to raise the money, and they need a very significant amount of money in order to get this very type of equipment that they need to proceed. And if they do, they may be able to commercialize what they're doing.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing right now. We do have a timetable, but we're only doing one campaign, and then after that, it's open to anybody, existent or startup, that wants to raise money.
This is designed specifically for local businesses to provide support services and technological expertise that they would not otherwise have had. And one of the things that I think we should make our audience aware of is that you can be an investor of sorts in this program.
There will be some rewards. Each company that we're going to be putting on the platform, and don't ask me what that means, maybe you can just discuss that, but the platform will be available, and they're working in both Colorado and Wyoming in order to construct this platform. Mm-hmm. And it has been done before very successfully. It has been used for nonprofits also. Mm-hmm. So a nonprofit could be a university, mm-hmm. It could be a technical college, it could be many different things. The only confinement is that it has to be in Wood County. I'm not going beyond Wood County.
Mm-hmm. And that's important to note also that you help spearhead this whole thing. And as I understand it, we're the only area in Wisconsin that's been selected for this program.
Yeah, I get a lot of, I'm excited. I says, oh, we're the only one in Wisconsin. In fact, there's only 2 in Illinois, and beyond that, there's maybe 15 other mm-hmm. programs like this. And I'll say that to someone, they say, oh that's nice. So I think it's enthusiastic and able to help these people. And the first candidate will be really, if they get what they are asking for, they will be very able to go into the commercial part of what they do. I'm not going to announce who that is until it goes on the program, but I really think that they should be live April 1st, and then for 30 days they go into this campaign. Okay. We call it a campaign. And it was interesting when I went through the material that it's inverted bell scale. Usually when you have grades, you go like this in a class. This goes the other way. And it'll drop off because you have to keep going and calling and making sure the clients or customers that you have are still aware that what's going on. Mm-hmm. So it'll have a lot of money to begin with thrown into the pot, and then it goes like this. It'll drop off because people will go on to other things, and then it'll come back up in the very last week or so. Okay. And that's evidently the trend that's going. They get almost all the money. If you make, now the first one wants over $20,000. So if that person makes $30,000, they get $30,000. Mm-hmm. So it's really very nice, and they're very excited about doing it.
Yes, and the local investors in our community who are helping these businesses, they can I guess they can negotiate what kind of return on their investment they get. It can be either in goods or some. Well,
they get a reward.
Or rewards. Okay.
So if you do, let's take a small one. Say that they want to get $7,000. Mm-hmm. So if you give them $50, maybe you get a pan of cupcakes. I'm only using a bakery. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you put in $1,000. You might get your cake and bread for the rest of the year. Okay. I mean, to the client, it's something that you can look forward to. To everybody else, it's like, well, that isn't that much, but hey, the product is good, and why not take? So it's incremental rewards that you get, and I don't have nothing to do with that. That's the person who is going to be in the first campaign.
Okay, so just as a reminder, this program has been set up by this group in in Laramie, did you say?
Laramie, Wyoming.
And it's called the Local Crowd. And if you want to go out to your internet, out to the website, you can go check them out and see what other exciting things they've been doing. And speaking of exciting things, I think there was another initiative that you wanted to mention.
Yes.
That's connected with this sort of thing.
Well, it's a little bit connected. Encourage came forward with a small grant, North Central Community Action Program, for those. I don't want to call it a microloan because the SBA has microloans, and they go up to $35,000.
Oh.
This is a mini loan, and it is a loan to the person that needs money for maybe one piece of equipment for $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, along with that, they're going to have to do some writing. They're going to have to do a small business plan. They're going to have to do some kind of feasibility study, and that isn't available now. So all they have to do is call the North Central Community Action Program and ask for me. And our number is 715-424-2581. And where I tell everybody to go is go in back of the Pizza Hut off of 8th Street, because that's a well-known place. Mm-hmm. And you can park in the parking lot where the second suite in that big building, in back of the Pizza Hut. But those are things that people who wish to start a business, turning a hobby into a business, could very well use that type of initiative. Mm-hmm. It's something that is available. I work part-time, but I'll meet either in the morning or in the afternoon. I've actually met people in the library at night. There are a lot of different things that are available. If we can't help you with financing, and we have a very finite, small amount of money, I do have information on other resources. In fact, this last fall, I was trying to find money for someone who had moved into Adams County. I can't go into Adams County. I can't go into Clark, Taylor, Portage. That's all a no-no. So I says, do you have to go into Adams County? She says, yes, I do. Mm. Well, through some other information I received, one of the electrical companies down there has some money that they do the same thing. So she got what she needed, and everything was fine because she had a business plan.
Excellent.
So the business plan is not a difficult thing to do. It is just sitting down and doing it. The worst thing about it is doing the research, making sure that you're really focused on who you're trying to sell to, mm-hmm. whether it's a product or a service. The most perfect business in the world is if you have something that everybody wants, they'll pay for it, and you don't need any financing.
That's perfecto.
It's the perfect business. Yeah. I've never found one.
And because you also have to do an analysis of your competitors as well.
You have to look at the competition, and maybe the competition is national. Mm-hmm. It could be international. You don't know until you start stirring the pot and finding out what's going on. But it's something that you can do through the internet. I mean, it isn't that difficult to do. Mm-hmm. You can access all kinds of publications, and you just be sure that you know which publication you're talking about. Write it down, the volume, the date that it came out, the name of it. Otherwise, you get mixed up, and somebody will say, "Hey, I got the publication, and that wasn't what I heard."
Yep. So if you could quickly recap the two initiatives that you're talking about here, and give our viewers more information. There might be some budding entrepreneurs out there who might be able to take advantage of these.
Okay,
programs.
The first one is the crowdfunding. You don't pay anything for that. You just have to do an application, and that should be available through our office, or could be on the Access TV. Maybe we can attach it. And the second thing is the small grant to us and a loan to people that just need one or two things, maybe $1,000, $2,000. There isn't much money involved with that. But again, you have to go through the business plan because it's a loan to you.
Okay.
So if you came to me and said, I really want to open a small retail store. And I said, fine, do you have collateral? Do you have a business plan? You'll say no and no. And then it says, well, you must own something. And then we go through that, well, how much is that truck worth? And then you have to get a blue book value on it, and that's gonna, do I take your truck? No, I don't. I don't want your truck. What I wanna do is get the collateral up to the loan.
Right.
Sometimes you have to, for a bakery, once we counted pots and pans so we could get up to the level that they needed for collateral.
So you really have to put skin into the game.
I do. But I also make whoever is trying to open their business have their skin in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. So the second program that you mentioned, the mini loan, that's through Encourage Foundation.
It's through us,
Oh,
but we
through
were
us,
given.
But the money
Came from Encourage, and it's a loan to them.
Okay.
Grant to us, but loan to them.
And
Grants
again, when you say us, you're referring
to North Central Community Action Program, not to me. They didn't give it to me.
No, but I just wanted to specify because you are kind of driving this process at North Central Community Action Program, and so I just wanted to specify that there's this resource in the community that's available for them.
Yes, actually, it's the Wood County, the whole of Wood County.
Okay.
The grant is South Wood County.
Okay.
They only want to go a certain area because they don't service in Marshfield.
Okay.
But it was I have the ability to work in Wood County because the municipalities in back of us is Wood County itself gave money towards this. They also gave money in Wisconsin Rapids and in Marshfield.
Okay. So again, the number at North Central Community Action Program.
715-424-2581.
Okay, well, thank you, Carla, very much for all this
You're welcome.
information. And again, we co-host this program on a regular basis. It's Community Business Matters. It's Carla Lenk of North Central Community Action Program. And I'm Jesse Austin with the Wisconsin Rapids Community Media, and we thank you for tuning in.